All right, y'all. Let's talk about this one here real quick. I had to jump on and talk about this fight here, man. Big statement made by Elora Dana taking on Diana Avsaragova in the first round of the PFL tournament, flyweight tournament. First off, I got to say shout out to all the ladies in the tournament, man. All 4 fights delivered. We had 3 finishes and 1 back and forth decision war. All the fights were on point. I know a lot of people were kind of down, with Tyler Santos being out and Dakota Ditchman not returning this season, kind of put a damper on the tournament. But overall, the way the matchmaking was done, late replacements and the fighters that they brought in, they wanted to win. They all brought the hunger. So that kind of overshadowed, not having Dakota or Tyler this time around, which was good. It was good. We got a nice balance, starting with the bottom fighters too. And Elora Dana, man, I haven't really seen much on her. I knew she was a good pressure fighter, good grappler, undefeated jungle fight champion. I know she was bringing some accolades coming in here. Taking on Diana Avsaragova, who's been fighting for Bellator for a while, but I just never really seen anything stand out about Diana Avsaragova, so I was leaning towards Elora Dana. And man, for good reason, man. This girl, she came in here, made a big statement with her striking, got a nice takedown, and scored a good first-round finish via neck crank. I mean, it started off as a guillotine, but as she just started locking it in and just putting that pressure on, she was able to crank that neck, man. And solid win for Elora Dana, so she's advancing. But real quick, looking back at the fight, what was the fight, the first round, there was 2 things I had to point out when it first started. First off, I said I didn't like the striking posture of Elora Dana, with her back straight and chin out there like that, just chin wide open, chin just right there to be hit. And number 2, I said, Diana has heavy hands. So at some point, there's going to be a knockdown. And guess what? There was a knockdown. So that's just kind of a warning for Elora Dana moving forward. She needed to tuck that chin. But overall, I like the pressure that she was putting on Diana Avsaragova. Diana was really respecting her, because as that pressure was coming in, she just kept moving. She couldn't really find her range or even like set up a jab. Elora Dana just kept coming forward, pot shotting, landing some leg kicks, landing some strikes upstairs. And Avsaragova never really was able to set up anything, but when her back was to the cage, finally, as she set up her feet, she landed a big right hand and scored a flash knockdown on Dana. So Dana felt that power because her chin was right out there, but when she felt that power, she turned into a grappler quick. She went in for that clinch and she started cage wrestling Diana. Diana did an all right job at first, trying to reverse it and trying to get back to the cage to stay away from the center, but I like how Dana just peeled her off the cage and got a nice solid takedown, put her right on her back. And that top pressure, was hard, man. Like Dana, she was going hard on her, man. She had some like heavy top control, and the way she was just able to pin down that right wrist of Diana and just neutralize her in that half guard. She was putting a lot of good pressure on her. So the only thing that could move with Diana was just her neck. So as she's trying to get her neck and her upper body up, she just exposes the neck, and that's where Elora Dana just locks in the guillotine at first, but as she's turning her and as she's like, getting all the way into that guard, she's just starting to crank the neck to the side, and then she's cranking and cranking. Diana just doesn't have anywhere to go till finally, boom, she taps. So yeah, good solid win for Elora Dana, man. She made a big statement win there, but like I said before, I never really seen too much like of a spark from Diana Avsaragova. I know she has heavy hands, like I said, she's a pretty solid striker, but even then, like, I was never really big on like her as like a complete fighter. Like, I just didn't really think she had a good ground game or good takedown defense. You can take her down easy, but if you pull her into a brawl, she can fight. She can fight. But Elora Dana was coming in with a mixture. She was coming in striking, and then the way she scored the takedown, it was just all set up as planned, I could tell, So yeah, now Elora Dana's moving forward. She's going to be taking on Liz Carmouche. She's going to be taking on Liz Carmouche in this semifinal. So we'll see how this turns out. I mean, Liz Carmouche, she looked good in her win. And, she still has a lot in her tank, So we'll see how this one goes. But overall, I like what I'm seeing from Elora Dana. She's 8-0 now. And Avsaragova, she's, 7-2? Or like, I believe 6-2. Yeah, she's 6-2 because they both had 8 fights. Yeah, so they both had 8 fights apiece. So yeah, she's 6-2 now. But Avsaragova, she just needs a little work. I know she's only still like 26, 27. She just needs a lot of work on her ground game. Needs to spend more time rolling and just being a little bit more limber. But overall, I like what I saw from Elora Dana. Just got to keep that chin tucked though. She was doing a little bit of everything, but moving forward, if she's fighting Liz Carmouche and Liz Carmouche coming forward with some hard right hands, she could get dropped for real. So, yeah, man, good fight. Check that one out, y'all. I'll be back to talk about the other one, get my thoughts on those. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.